On a Zoom call last night, I saw a woman in my friend's house who wasn't his wife. Good morning everyone. Every Sunday night some of my friends slash coworkers at the university I teach at get together for a Zoom meeting. One of my friends left the room, and while he was gone a very young woman who clearly wasn't his wife, she's away on a trip I believe, walked in, unaware the Zoom call was going on. I don't like to jump to conclusions, but this woman came from the bedroom wearing just a hoodie and socks. When my friend came back in and saw her in there, he looked embarrassed but didn't say anything, and she left right away. So I think it's clear what was going on. I think he was hoping we hadn't noticed, since there was a lot of us on the call and there was another conversation going on. My wife and my friend's wife are best friends. I don't like inserting myself into private situations, especially with a coworker and friend. However, I feel like my wife would be upset if I didn't tell her, but I know if I tell her she will feel obligated to tell his wife. How should I approach this situation? If ages are important, my friend is 37, his wife is 33. I don't know how old the young lady I saw was. I'd tell my wife what I saw. I'd reiterate that I don't know who she was or what she was doing there, but that's what I saw. If he is cheating, his wife needs to know. It's not your fault he decided to sleep with someone else, and it's not your fault he had her over during a Zoom call. You shouldn't hold that guilt. I hope whatever decision you make, it works out. Edit. To op comment below. Yes, I would 100% tell my wife. That is her best friend, and if he is in fact cheating, she is gonna need some advance notice so she can help her, and so you aren't in the dog house in your own marriage. It's a really shitty situation, but at this point you and his wife are the victims of his own burden. Please tell the wife. Would you want to know if your wife was unfaithful and putting you at risk for STDs? I bet you would. Please treat this woman with the same respect you'd hold for yourself. Are at risk for, COVID. There's a perfectly legitimate reason to tell the wife, even assuming it's a completely innocent visit. I definitely suggest going to your wife as soon as possible. If this is your wife's best friend, your wife may have more intimate view of what's happening in their marriage. Any agreements on non-monogamy that might be at play or family visiting. She may have a better idea of what to do with that information without you bringing an accusation to your friend or potentially giving him enough time to get rid of evidence slash come up with a story. Someone said this already, but I think it's worth repeating. If nothing shady is going on, then you telling your wife slash it getting back to his wife shouldn't be a big deal. As your friend, he should be able to appreciate the position you've been put in and the natural choices that you're forced to make with that. Even if he doesn't like it, hopefully he will be able to understand. Someone said this already, but I think it's worth repeating. If nothing shady is going on, then you telling your wife slash it getting back to his wife shouldn't be a big deal. Ooh, that's good. So I felt like quoting it, lol. Hoss relationship. Do you value more your friends or your wife? If you value your wife more, then tell her. Y'all are a team and should work together, but no secrets between you two. 100%. My husband always says, when someone tells me not to tell anyone something, they need to assume I'm telling you because we're unit. There's nothing I should know that you shouldn't know, and he knows that I won't tell anyone. I see that the problem here is that you do expect she will need to say something, but that's on your friend for not being more careful if something is going on, not on you. You have no obligation to not tell your wife something you saw. Honestly, maybe giving them the heads up that that's how you operate is better than letting them assume. Just my 2 cents. No issue in Op's case as he wasn't entrusted with any secret. Just saw what he saw. If someone saw a strange man in your home with your wife while you were away, would you want to know? Your friend's wife deserves to make informed decisions about who she spends her life with and who she gives her love and time to. If he really isn't doing anything wrong, there's no way this could backfire. Deleted. They would both be assholes if they don't inform the wife. They would be essentially covering for him, and that's shitty if he's actually cheating. If you say nothing and it comes out later that he was in fact cheating and your wife finds out you've known since last night, it'll hurt her that you didn't say anything. She won't care that you were just trying to mind her own business. It's the fact that you know something and could potentially put a stop to a bad situation with her best friend, but chose not to. In addition, choosing to potentially support a cheating friend of your own over your wife's best friend being cheated on doesn't exactly say positive things concerning your character. Are you going to accuse your wife of having SJW tunnel vision too if she's upset with you over this? Or just say nothing and let her carry on in ignorance that you value your friend's well-being over hers? Because let's be honest, when this comes out, if it's happening, it will affect your wife as the friend of your friend's wife. If you're a man of integrity, you'll do what is right, not what is easy, and you won't be ducking over your friend. If he is in fact cheating, he's done it to himself already. Don't take responsibility for his actions. Be responsible for your own. Couldn't have said better myself. The answer always his wife deserves to know. Tell your wife. Confirm that he is indeed cheating. Then tell his wife. I guess you don't have any friends. Hopefully. Yeah. Am I gonna have to use the good old reverse card and say no you to that? The guy's right. If you have a shred of integrity and decency you'd tell the wife. If there's nothing going on, then telling his wife won't result in anything. If something is going on, you're helping a woman save a lot of time in a shitty marriage. Tell his wife. If there is nothing going on then she probably should have had pants on. I think it's safe to assume that something is going on if she was only wearing a hoodie and socks walking around his house. She might have been running from a psycho killer whose chainsaw shredded her pants escaping, and Op's friend is a hero. Why don't you ask your friend who it was? Would he be honest with you? My rationale is that there's no reason to cause a hubbub if there's nothing wrong. But, what are the odds? I will say though, I do think you should act on this and not just let it go. Yes, go to your friend first. Why was this response so low? Because the friend will lie his ass off to save face. Regardless, I'd still tell my wife. If you're able to come to Reddit with your concerns, you should be able to go to your wife. Tell your wife, but don't oversell it. Just let her know that you saw some random girl with him during the Zoom call and you found it odd since his wife was away. Let them come to their own conclusions. Or a simple "does have family visiting? I thought I saw someone in the background of Zoom meeting that wasn't." I would say tell your wife, because the truth will come out one day and she will eventually learn that you didn't tell her what you saw, and it may create a fight like, "Oh, so you think it's okay to cheat on your wife? You cautioned it?" Exclamation mark. Should I be worried? Etc. She may question your moral, and it would end up in trust issues. I know that's how I would react at least, but I think it's a natural and logical reaction. She is the person you chose to live with, so maybe do the best to not create a conflict later. Before talking to her, you should talk to your friend first though, because he is your friend. Give him a chance to explain himself. Even if you're just looking out for yourself, consider that you're not the only person who saw that woman on the Zoom meeting and this will get out. You don't want your wife to come to you and ask why you didn't tell her. Tell your wife. If wants to tell her friend she can. Your conscience is clear, but you also didn't interfere in someone else's business. Did anyone recognize her as a student? Apparently not, but it's more common than you would think. Tell your wife. Do not create issues and drama in your marriage by holding the candle for someone else who is possibly actively seeking to implode their own marriage. Just tell your wife what you saw. Talk it out with her. If she wants to talk it out, let her handle it. Had something similar like this happen to me. I told my girlfriend and she notified her best friend about her BF sleeping with someone else. Me and that guy's relationship is now ruined since he said this to me in confidence that I'd keep it to myself. I got guilty, but then realized that the guy was a piece of shit and I don't want to associate myself with those types of people. This guy is a piece of shit for more than likely cheating on his wife. Tell his wife and be done with him. If someone is willing to duck over his own wife, then he willing to duck over his own friends. These people are trash. I would want to know. And I would want my partner to tell me if they saw something like that. If I found out my partner hid cheating, then I would wonder if they have friends who would do the same. Just realizing though, to be so careless with COVID and a Zoom call, and I'm really against cheating at the home. If there aren't kids yet, maybe give this woman the chance to get out. The first thing I would do is ask him privately. You may be about to throw a grenade that could damage several relationships. There's a good chance that telling your wife could end up destroying your wife's relationship with her best friend. It is shockingly common that the cheated on partner cuts out the friend that tells them and stays with the cheater. So take a deep breath. Be deliberate. Talk to your friend first. There are possible innocent explanations. So see what he has to say and see if you believe him. You're eventually going to have to tell your wife. But out of respect for your friendship, talk to your friend first. There are innocent explanations for another woman in the house, but with no pants on. How long was the woman in the frame? If it was only a few seconds, then I'd pretend to not have seen or noticed her. You don't know who she is, or what her relationship is to him, or the wife. I would stay out of it. And if the woman was only on camera for a few seconds, then you have plausible deniability. And for all you know, the couple may have agreed to an open marriage recently and not made it public. If telling friends about it is even a thing, I'd not insert myself into this situation for all the gold in the world, lol. Did you ask this friend about it? Sounds like not any of your business. You should stay out of it. I'd let my wife know and state that you don't know who she is or what she was doing. But you saw something and don't know if it's appropriate or not, but you need someone to tell. Alright, let's go through the reasonable scenarios. Scenario 1. It's completely innocent. His wife knows about this person. Maybe a niece or a friend who is just very comfortable in their house. Maybe the wife even gets off on the idea her husband is having other women over. Who knows? The point is, if you tell your wife, and she tells his wife, and the whole situation is completely innocent, everyone wins. They might be embarrassed that their secret is out, or that you would actually think them capable of cheating. But in the long term, they might be appreciative of your honesty and consideration for her. Hell, maybe she's a camgirl, and they're subleasing the bedroom during the day. You really don't know he's cheating. This is probably unlikely, but you can't be 100% certain this isn't the case. Which is my point. It may be innocent. Scenario 2. It's not completely innocent. You don't tell your wife, and your wife is almost certainly going to be mad at you if this ever gets out. So you'll have to keep a secret from her for pretty much years, or possibly even your whole marriage. Is that what you want? Close bracket. If it gets out and it doesn't come from you, you have to still keep the secret that you already knew. Again, do you want to keep a permanent secret from her? Close bracket. This is looking like you and your wife losing this, and probably his wife as well. He gets to maintain a fade for longer, so he's really the only winner here. Scenario 3. It's not completely innocent. You do tell your wife, and she tells his wife. Their marriage either ends, or the cheating ends. You and your wife win here. His wife may win or may lose, but lose less if the marriage ends sooner than later. So, based on these scenarios, the best ones for you and your wife is to tell the truth. The best one for his wife is to tell the truth. The best one for him is to not say anything at all. I say, tell the truth and hope it is completely innocuous. Tell your wife to tell her. Guys oppose if he is cheating, and that's what it certainly looks like. Don't keep secrets from your wife. I'm willing to bet the young lady did that on purpose. She's hoping someone tells. Somehow, in the minds of twisted cheaters, they think that if the so finds out, they'll leave, thus creating an opening for a relationship. The worst thing is these morons choose to cheat in their own homes. What a pose. Your friend put you in a bad spot, not your wife. Your wife is your partner and deserves to know. And then you can discuss how to handle the situation with the other couple and hopefully come up with a reasonable solution together. This isn't something that goes away, and if you are caught hiding this from your wife, you will be spending more time with that friend than you want to. This is the mistake of brothers before hoss. It doesn't apply to marriage. If your friend is burning down his own marriage, you don't have to burn yours down too. He is responsible for the mess. It is his job to clean it up, and this should have absolutely nothing to do with your marriage. So don't put your marriage in the line of fire for someone who would put you in this crap position in the first place. Your friend is messing up his own relationship. He absolutely shouldn't be given the power to mess up yours. Tell your wife what you saw. If you don't, It lends an element of approval to what you think he's doing. Maybe he isn't cheating and that's his niece or something. Your wife may be able to lend some context. But protecting someone you think is cheating will absolutely destroy trust in your own relationship. If your wife ever found out what you were doing, tell her. You should absolutely tell your wife. Also, a good friend would still hold their friend accountable for cheating. Good friends encourage the right thing. It's best to make an informed decision so the friend's wife can be told if this is cheating. Yeah, I'd want to be told if your wife were cheating on you, right? People deserve better than to stay with a cheater when those in their circle knew otherwise. If this does end up being cheating, go directly to the friend's wife. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Do not tell your wife. Let your friend's wife deal with this and offer to tell your wife as well. She is probably being cheated on, but on the off chance that this is how their marriage works, then her friendship with your wife is not impacted, but you've offered to widen a support circle in the event that something untoward is going on. I'd bring it up with him first, but don't keep it from your wife. His wife definitely deserves to know as well. And her husband, your friend, won't tell her, then your wife definitely should. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.